Easy, boys and girls. How are we getting on today? Hopefully good. Um, Today's video is going to be short and sweet. It's going to just give you the visual um, illustration of some of the things that I've been talking about, because I had to recently kind of backtrack in my mind and think and look at some of the stuff that I talk about, and just basically I came to the realization that some of the things I say can seem a little bit like, to the average person who hasn't experienced the things that I'm talking about, it can appear like hocus pocus. For instance, if I'm saying to you, water is your best medicine, like it's one of the highest medicines you can put in your body, and therefore you want to be taking time to flush your body with it. Have a break from eating the food and fast and just flood your body with the water. I can imagine now that I thought to myself, I was sitting there thinking one day that some people may see this as like, what do you mean water is the highest medicine? And I get it. So I thought, what better way to illustrate a point to you of what's going on with the water, and why most people even think they're getting good water, and actually even the water they get actually getting is kind of not really water. Because I've said this before on videos, right, that just because something looks like what you think it is doesn't mean that it is actually the thing. It's like, you think of the Donnie Brasco film to Fugazi, in. So that's basically what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to cover a couple of quick snapshots into water, and I'm probably going to touch on salt, because salt is, in no uncertain terms, one of the most toxic things on the planet for your body. And you see, this is the problem you got with people who are sleepwalking around in a daydream, not really knowing about what's going on with their body, and therefore they want to go and ask the people in the hospitals who the people who are promoting all this nonsense, what's going on, and they want to give you the shots and the V's. Those people, they look at them as the people who know about health. Even though, if we think I don't want to go too far off topic, but let's think about it. You go to a hospital, does it feel good? Do you not feel miserable? Do you not want to, what is this place? It doesn't feel good. You're supposed to feel good when you go to somewhere to heal, right? If you ask me. You look at the nurses, the people who are supposed to be administering you healthcare. Now, I'm not being horrible here, but what I'm saying is that, that you see them on their breaks, smoking cigarettes, eating cheeseburgers, they're overweight. You find more healthier people in the gym, yet these are the people that are taking care of your health. Now, these are lovely people. They have the intentions of, being healers, but they're basically, the point is we're starting to grasp now is that they're being given the wrong or a flawed way of doing things. It's like a battle and a fight. We're fighting these diseases. We're battling them. And how it actually works with the body is that it's cause and effect. The effects are being caused, the symptoms and things that are going on wrong with the bodies are being caused by something. And so therefore, an effective way to do things would be to backtrack. Let's find the underlying cause to what's going on. Unfortunately, those that want you to have the V and all this kind of stuff, we're not going to say the word, but we know what we're talking about here. Those that want the VAX to be in everybody's system, they deal with methods of using chemicals that mainly generally just mask symptoms. They basically shut the effect off, but they don't stop the cause. Now, I've digressed a little bit further than I wanted to, but we get the point here. We've got to start looking at some things that are going on with the water supply and with the food supply. So the reason why, just real quick as well, the reason why I mentioned the salt thing, the reason why I'm touching on the salt is because I'd done a post the other day speaking about the V and all the different things that are in there, the toxic stuff that's in there. And a guy jumped on there. I didn't realize he was being, I don't even know the geezer, but he jumped on my post and started making a comment and saying, he said something like sodium. He said chloride reacts violently with water. No, is it chloride? Chlorine is a gaseous toxin, and sodium reacts violently with water. Yet combined, they are table salt. Just like the harmful chemicals that you talk about that are in the VAX. So he's basically making the point that when some harmful things are changed molecularly, that putting them into the body is good for us. Because, obviously, because I didn't realize he was taking the piss, basically. And I said, look, I don't consume salt. And he was like, he was just basically like, what are you on about? Do you eat food and blah, blah. Anyway, cut a long story short. I just thought, what a level of sleep that we're dealing with, because this guy's like, I've done chemistry for 8 years, so you can't tell me nothing. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if I was doing chemistry, and I was looking at that, and I was like, so this reacts violently with water. This is a gaseous. It's like it's a poison. These two, why are they using this to make table salt? That's what I'll be thinking. Alarm bells should be ringing. Now, I'm not saying there aren't things that are completely toxic here in large doses that can help the body in small amounts, but you got to look at it like this. You are 70% water, they tell you, and salt, in no uncertain terms, dehydrates. It also is a very extremely stimulating substance. So when you put it, when you're always putting it in your mouth and it's hitting your taste buds and that, it's giving you a dopamine response. And if we lower in dopamine, then the health just goes down, like seriously, like the health plummets. The health. So as well as the fact that it's overstimulating you, which is basically the reason why people, don't people aren't like overjoyed at eating like broccoli and things like that. Like what I'm saying is, like, people generally don't want to eat salads and greens and things like this without putting sauces and salts and all these kind of things on. And that's because you've been used to something that's stimulating you that much that you just like, it's not as interesting. So this turns off receptor sites in the brain, and it overstimulates and all this kind of stuff. So we'll get to the salt thing after I've showed you about this water, but I want to show you, because what I'm trying to say is, like, as I said, people could easily be thinking, oh, what do you mean water? So you could, like, I drink water all the time. People are onto the water thing. People are drinking a lot of water, yeah. But they still might need to go and see the doctor and thinking, that water's not doing nothing too clever. But the thing is, you see, when you drink distilled water dissolves and removes all the harmful stuff that you've been putting in your body. So without no further ado, I'm going to show you why. Because this is we're living in a backwards world. You've got to start to understand, right? And just think of this: it's cheaper to buy Coca-Cola than it is to buy clean water. And even when you go and buy clean water, let's say you're going to buy, like, what is it, Volvic or whatever. Yeah. I'm going to show you right now that you're still putting, you're doing yourself no good. Like you're basically disobeying the laws of nature, right? Because nature don't care what you believe. It's going to act in accordance to the way it acts because it's natural. And the point I'm making is if you go against it, that's when the disharmony in the body, disease, and all this shit is going to start to occur in it. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to show you a fella called Adrian. He's got wicked YouTube channel highlighting a lot of natural remedies for things, and also where a lot of people are being brainwashed with a lot of the things that are happening in society, because society is backwards. Make no mistake about it. So what we're here to do now is show you some things that are going to hopefully assist you, because if you do this, if you use these things that I'm talking about, you're going to be a lot healthier. Now, this guy has learned, he learned from somewhere that you can use electrolysis to cause a reaction in the water that will show you the contaminants that are in there. And this is basically inorganic material, because your body's a carbon-based vessel, which means it absorbs and assimilates with carbon, organic things better than anything else. Other than that, any inorganics that you're putting in your body, they're going to start basically it's going to start collecting in your organs and in your joints. This is what inorganic minerals, salts, metals, which I've spoke about, which are in the VAX, which are in. And remember, you've been given this stuff from when you was a kid, from when you was a baby. So this is why there are people now speaking out against this stuff, because it's like, this is, people go, oh, so like my gran had the VAX the other day, she's okay. Because it's not just going to hit you straight away. This is sneaky stuff, what they're doing, as you're going to see right now. So this geezer learned how to show, it shows that you cause a reaction in the water, it shows the contaminants. Let's have a little look. So we can just, because like I said, this is going to be short but sweet. Right, 2 secs. No. We're just going to show you 2 examples here. As you can see, it's the color is starting to like turn into like, you know, something that is showing you basically like, yo.
And I thought we'd show you some Welsh tap water, which is what I use to make the distilled water. It's quite soft water. But again, this had quite an interesting reaction.
So this is the tap water, yeah, which we all know that that's a load of garbage anyway. Remember, this is accumulating on your organs which clean your blood. Like your liver filters, it gets rid of all the rubbish like that you put in your body. That's, you know, when you go to these supermarkets,
yeah.
It gets rid of it, like your liver, basically, and your kidneys. Like these stations in your body filter your blood, and you know, even your bowels and all that, like this is all waste disposal and removal. So if they're getting clogged up with this stuff, and then obviously all the, you know, the other, the just the basic wreckage from just never ever cleansing the body, never fasting, never doing any kind of like colon flush or anything like that. This is accumulating. This is accumulating on the joints as well, because you see these minerals are inorganic minerals, right? And like I said, what happens is, this is why people have brittle bones, because it's attaching to the bones, right, and the joints and ligaments and all this stuff. And what it's doing is it's basically going to inhibit the ability of your internal system to recreate and reproduce itself and grow itself. So I'll show you. What I'm going to show you is smart water. Is it smart water? Let's just show you this one here now. Boom. Look at that. That's dirt, heavy metals, all this kind of
smart
stuff.
water. Now I saved this one for last because the video I watched, in my mind, it had the highest level.
Look at this. This is smart water. People are paying for this, people, yeah? You go out there and you spend your money on this because you've been told, and quite rightly so, that water is good for you, but not that water. Now,
because of the colour this was going,
if you haven't got a water distiller, I'd still say drink this,
I did initially
because
stop the test here.
It's going to be better than Coca-Cola.
I thought about it for a second, and I thought, you know
as
what,
you can see,
for another
that stuff there,
so.
that stuff there, like coagulating all in your joints and all in the linings of your blood vessels in your heart and all this kind of stuff, as well as the mucus that's being produced from a lot of the foul stuff that people are eating when they're not cleansing the self out. What did you think was going to happen? So that's just that there. We'll move on to salt now. Yeah, I'm going to show you something real quickly, because see, the geezer tried to say, yeah, what are you smoking, crack or something? What are you smoking? Because what I said is, I said those who consume salt, and like on a heavy basis, table salt, are basically being crossed and hexed. And the reason why I say that, right, people want to think they're too smart for this to happen, but you've got to start looking into etymology, look into the language, right? Even the words that you use, it's keeping you in a box, like it's boxing up a reality for you. And if you think this is mental, then you're on the wrong channel. But like, look, salt molecule is a cube, it's a cuboid. But then even when you turn a cube diagonally, what do you get? You get a hex, a hexagram. Boom, boom, boom. Look, see that? It's a hexagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's a hexagram. That is right. Now, so this is what's going on, because nature moves in cycles. You don't see straight lines here, right? In nature, but this is what how it's working with the salt molecules being placed into your body and and going into your brain and all this stuff. It's going through because it's soluble. So because it's soluble, it's so small, along with the metals and all the other inorganic stuff. Yeah. This is basically not causing. It's not causing the energy to flow, like the basically the electromagnetic energy of your body to flow properly, which is basically the healing energy, the energy what keeps you youthful, vital, and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to take it a little bit deeper, and some people, this might be a stretch of the imagination, right? Let's have a quick little look at how. You see that box there? Look, the box. Yeah. This might seem crazy to some people, but you know what? You either feel it and you get it, and it makes sense, and you'll start looking into more of this stuff. Just type in etymology and hidden meanings of the English language. You either feel it and you get it, but if you don't, then you don't. And it's cool, man. If it's just like, wow, this geezer's reaching, then sound. But let me just see. I did have a better one. You know, basically, you got to start looking at the language. Yeah, the language. Each letter is a symbol, right? And you are powered up by the sun. The whole world what we live in is powered up by the sun. Even the fruits and the vegetables that you should be eating they come from the sun. And obviously the earth, but you know, it's an intermingling of those two energies, let's say. Soul, which is solar, which is also to do with cells and cellular, like just energy transference and healing and cell mitosis, you know, organization of the cells, you know what I mean? If they're all disorganized because they're screwed up from all the, you know, not just these molecules being in there, salt molecules, but inorganics galore. If the molecules are screwed up, then the cells, you know, or the soul, you know, your cellular makeup is basically screwed up, and the pH is all out of whack and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I'll just show you this one anyway. I did a better one, but you see here, yeah. What's that? That's what happens when a box is opened up. But you know what? I'm gonna have to get one because that's not showing you the way it works. I should have had this prepared ready, but I gotta go out and do some running around in the park in a minute. So here, look. This is how a box. When a box opens up, it makes a cross. Now you add SOL, T. See, the T is a cross is to do with a dead body, and it's a tombstone. You know what I mean? X marks the spot as well. If you flip it that way, it's X marks the spot. It's either the buried treasure or it's the buried dead body, because we got a lot of walking dead walking around now who can't really see what's going on. When it comes to healing themselves, like when it comes to something's going on with them, and maybe they need to back away from all the poison and shit that they're doing to the body to heal themselves. Instead of doing that, they'll go and see the farmer or the doc who basically places you in the dock and he's taking your power away. You know what I mean? They're practicing, right? So because you've been hexed, look, see this box thing, that's a hex. It's a hexagram and it's a cross, denoting that the soul has been crossed. SOL, solar power, has been crossed out of the equation. Now, this is not saying these people, or like all of us, you know, we all consume salt, but I'm saying we've got to start backing away from it. This is not saying no one ain't got a soul. This is saying it is extracting a huge amount of your natural energy that is there to heal you. In it. So, yeah, man, that's why it's called salt. SOLT. SAL is the same as SOL. It rolls off the tongue the same way. I'm going to show you another thing. If you think this is like I'm just reaching, right, then have a look at this. Why do you think they call it? Why do you think they call it the top shotter of salt? The biggest company in the world of salt, or one of the biggest companies in America, is called Morton. These are the daddies of salt. Have a look at this. Morton's salt. What is morton? What is the root word mort? Mortuary, mortified. In Spanish, it's morir, to die. Muerto is dead. Morbid, mortician. So yeah, man, this guy was right when he posted on my wall when he said like, what did he say? He said, sodium reacts violently with water. Chlorine is a poisonous gas. And they make table salt. So he was saying, you stupid idiot, some poisons can be put in the body. And I'm not saying they can't, of course they can. But if you want to be dehydrated and have your brain just full of this stuff, I suggest you're going in the wrong direction. And then when you get to like old age and you're wondering, what was my bones all, why is my brain not firing the way it should be? Why have I got no memory? Because look up the word memory. If you look up the etymology of the word memory, mem and ori is water and light, because even water is liquid sunlight. That's why it keeps cycling back to the source. Yeah, it keeps returning home and then, coming back down to replenish the earth. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you've got to start looking at nature and what's going on, and then you'll learn easily how to get a control mechanism over your health and your wellness. So that's basically all I wanted to say, really, about that matter. But yeah, important things to remember. Mem and ori, look it up. Look up the etymology of mem and ori. See, these people have created a language that doesn't really give you the full picture until you start digging and having a little look at it and seeing that it's there's so much like hidden kind of depths to it, angles in it. There's no straight lines in nature, as I told you. It all moves in cycles, but like, you've been told that time works in a linear kind of construct. That's why you've been placed in the left brain, and that's why thinking outside the box is a little bit difficult for people who have become blockheads, because the salt is in everything. Get what I'm trying to say? So that's, you got a box, you got like the box molecule all up in all the neurons and all the pathways in your body, in the cells in your body, in your brain, and all that kind of stuff. I want to get too scientific, because as these people on who try and like talk down about the things that I say on Facebook and whatnot, I ain't a scientist. I just know how to observe some key things that seem to not make sense to me and bring it and put it on the table for you to digest. So, as I said, pictures paints 1,000 words. So start to look at these words and letters as symbols and think, what do they symbolize? Now, obviously, yeah, we don't want to dehydrate, do we? We are made of water. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's it for now. Anyway, I'm going to leave it as that. As I said, man, short and sweet, man. I got to go work out and run about and breathe some air and get a load of water inside me. And, obviously it's not advised these days, is it? Everyone's walking around like that, they seem to think like there's a fear of the air. It's like they don't want to breathe. Yet they'll remove it to stuff their face with all the salty things in it. Even the word salty, when they say, she's salty, she's a bit moody. It's not a joke. Like, this is how the game's being played, man. It's crazy. But yo, my website's ready. I've got tons of jewels. I can tell you exactly how to get all your insides souped up, turbocharged, next level. So if you're interested in basically having a control mechanism over your health and wellness and getting, basically, it's all to do with the blood. You see why I'm 37 years of age and my blood is just, my skin is like this and everything is just cushy with my body. And even like when it comes to just doing what I do, I can get up here without notes and just relay this information to you. I don't really miss a step. Why? It's because I know how to fix, like just basically just get it on point with the health. Um, and like I said, if you're interested in learning this stuff, the link is in the description for the website. I'm going to be adding a lot more. At the moment, we're showing you how to upgrade the digestive system, the liver, the kidneys, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, we're showing you how to upgrade it and remove some of the harmful things that are in there. And it's better than these doctors who just, when the weight or something's wrong with you, and then they'll just hack your gallbladder out, all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what's happening inside the body. They just know how to cut away the symptoms, or like, let's quash the symptoms, but the thing is still going on. The cause is still there. So yeah, man, let your people know about this stuff. If I was you, head for the water distiller. If you can't change your diet, at least get a water distiller, and you're going to be like miles ahead of most people out here who are just in like basically Wonderland when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, man, have a beautiful day, and I want to get back on here soon. There's going to be a lot coming this year. I've been chilling and evaluating things like what I want to do with the project. Obviously, some of you know that this ain't everything for me. Like, I want to help people with this information, but for me, my life is music and like, training and gardening and things like that. I like gardening. I like going to the gym and music and all this kind of stuff. So I'm making time to get this out there, but I'm not pushing it. You guys, if you want this information, it's here for you. But I'm gonna be push. I'm not gonna be pushing it, but what I'm saying is I'm gonna be laying it out for you, and there's gonna be a lot coming. Make no doubt about it, because this is simple stuff, man. It takes common sense. So yeah, man, I'll be back soon. Peace.